Alright, a quick video on finance and repayments, mortgages type of thing. Anyway, so we have Zoe borrowed $875,000 to purchase her first home. The bank lent her the money at 5.2% per annum, reducible interest, and fortnightly repayments of $3,444.65. Now, first thing, we have 5.2% per year. I'm going to convert that into fortnight interest, which is 0.002. And let's have a look at the table. Let's see what's happening in the table. So the first fortnight, what happens? Principal is basically the amount owing at the start of the month. The start of the month, because Zoe borrowed $875,000, Zoe owes $875,000 at the start of the month. Then obviously interest gets charged. How much interest gets charged? Well, $875,000. Okay, and we're multiplying that by 0.002. And what's that equal to? Now, it's going to equal to 1750. Now, if you're not convinced, that's fine. So we can have a look over here, and we can just figure it out. 875, 123, multiplied by 0.002. And we get 1750. So that's how we got the 1750. 1750. That's how they got the 1750. Now note, this is the interest rate. The interest rate doesn't change. The interest rate doesn't change. However, this, if you want to think of it as 0.2%, this gets charged on however much we owe at the start of a particular month. Now that's going down because we're making repayments, right? We're making repayments. We owe this much. We make a repayment of this much every fortnight. So this goes down. I've been saying month, but I meant fortnight. Start of every period. Anyway, and so the actual interest will go down, as you can see over here. In the first fortnight, how much interest was charged? 1750. And then the second fortnight is 1746. Why? Because, we owed 875 at the start of the month. We got charged interest of this much, 1750, and therefore, by the end of the month, we owe $876,750. Then we made the repayment of $3,444.65. Right? Okay? So we owed this much. That increased by $1,750. We made a repayment of $34.44, more or less, and then therefore we now at the end of the month we owe this much, $873,000, not $875, because we repaid some of that. Okay, that's at the end of the first fortnight. So at the start of the second fortnight we owe this much, and we get charged interest of 0.002 to get that interest, and the amount owing is then this plus this, P plus I, that's P, that's I, add it together, we make a repayment of $3,444.65 to get how much we owe at the end of the second fortnight. And that is how much we owe at the start of the third fortnight. And so let's fill in the table. I'll do like 2 rows, and I'll leave the 5th and 6th for you to do as an exercise, I guess. Okay, so what is the interest? Interest is 871. We're doing the third row, so the third fortnight. At the start of the third fortnight, we owe $871,000. What is it? $607.31. We get charged an interest of 0.002. Is 0.2% if you want to think of it that way, but let's do it. 871, 607.31. Sorry about that. I was getting annoyed by having to put the calculator, so I just changed it so that the calculator's over here. Anyway, so at the start of the third fortnight, we owe 871, 607.31, and then we multiplied by 0.002. So that's how much interest, 1743.21. Excuse me, sorry. So, whoops. What did I do here? So we get 0.002 is equal to 1743.21. So over here we can write down 1743.21. Alright, anyway. So the amount owing is just going to be this plus this, and we write that over here. So let's add to this 871,607.31, and we get 873,350.52. Alright. Balance owing. Well, at the end of the third fortnight, how much will we still owe? We'll make a repayment of 3444.65. So let's subtract from here the repayment, which is capital R. Capital R is repayment. So P plus I minus the R. That's R. That's repayment. So minusing 3444.65. And we get balance owing at the end of the third fortnight of 869,905.87. Okay, and that's obviously how much we'll owe at the start of the fourth fortnight. So at the start of the fourth fortnight, we'll do 869,905.87. Now, once again, what will be the interest owing? Well, we'll do 869,905.87 times by 0.002, and that will tell us, multiplied by 0.002, that gives us 1739. So 1739.81. So 1739.81. We add that to the amount owing. So we'll add to this 869,905.87 to give us the amount owing at the end of the fourth fortnight. So 871,645,645.68. And obviously we'll make our repayment. So minus 3123.65. So the amount owing at the end of the fourth fortnight is going to be 868,201.03. And that's going to be the same as the amount owing at the start of the fifth fortnight, and so on and so forth. So try doing the fifth and sixth rows on your own and see how you do. Hopefully you're getting a feel for it. But basically, you borrowed money for a house, okay, and you're going to pay back every single fortnight. You're paying back 344,065 cents. Now you owe 875. Interest gets added, okay, and then you make a repayment. And therefore, that amount owing, it was 875, became 873. It goes down. Every fortnight, you're paying back the loan that you've taken. And then it becomes 873. Interest gets added. You make a repayment of 344, and then the amount owing decreases. It was 873, it became 871. And then so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, all of these questions tend to be fairly similar. The table might be a little bit different, like instead of PI, P plus I, or whatever, it might be a little bit different. Might be PI, might be R instead of the P plus I over here. And yeah, but you know, you just adjust depending on the table. But this is the gist of it. Best of luck.